Venderman here with your NQ pre-market prep on February 2nd. Let's jump into this NQ chart on the 1 hour. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments here. I guess we need to expect some volatility probably again today. It's made some moves overnight as well, so we can see it come down here. It hit a 4-hour trend line down here overnight, bounced right off of that area, about 182 or so, 180, 182, and putting in his V on the 1 hour. We're going to take this precision entry zone up here. I'm going to move this down, and we're going to stick this at about 185. Blow this up where we can see what we're doing here. This precision entry zone is going to run from about 185 to 195, and then I'm just going to move these out of the way for now. May have to go down and look at some things on the 15-minute. You can see we have a 4-hour trend line up top right here, and then we have a 1 hour here. We got this 1 hour here. We need to remove this one. So you have to play it really safe. With all this volatility, it's making some huge moves, and if you ain't keeping your wrist tight, then it's pretty easy to get run out of something here. We've had some really wide ranges. We're going to say, you know, if we can get through this line, this 1 hour trend line here, you see we got the golden pivot up here. Maybe by the time this gets back up here, if it breaks this 1 hour trend line, it may do that to sweep this golden pivot just on the other side right here. So as long as we can stay under the golden pivot, my bias would be bearish like always, as long as we're under the pivot. Until we can break above this pivot and maybe do some consolidating, maybe retest the golden pivot for a push forward or upward, I'm going to be keeping my eyes just right here in between these trend lines. So as of the recording of this right now, the range is really about 700 to 200, 180, 190, 200 to the downside for right now, and 700 to the top side, testing that trend line. Of course, the golden pivot is at 742, and it could sweep that trend line 42 points easily and tag that pivot for rejection. I would probably stay away from this, really. If you're not used to messing around trading the open, it'd probably be best to stay away from it for the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes, especially if they open crazy and that ATR gets really high. Let's drop this down to the 15-minute and have a look at this, see if we can get a better idea of some precision entry zones. Okay, so here was this gap overnight when it opened, then it filled it and then had that big push down. So really what I'll be thinking is I'm going to take this precision entry zone over here, and I'm thinking we're going to go, let's do 630 to 620. About 630 to 620 on this one to the top side for now. That's going to be the first one to the top side. You could have something right here in the 540 area, 540 to 530 possibly. I'm not going to put anything there right now. Well, we could just throw a horizontal line. Let's say somewhere around here, around this line. We could get some rejection here. You know, look to the left. This is where we got this hard drop. Sucked this candle down and closed, opened up and dropped hard right here, and then pushed on down. So this area right here, which we're real close to, but then we have the precision entry zone 620 to 630. Then your golden pivot at 742. It's a possibility that it would never get to the golden pivot. We're going to drop this down right here to, we're going to go 725 to 715. $7.25 to $7.15, and then you see you got your R1 pivot up there at 9.16. I got a lot of precision entry zones up top, but there are several areas in between here in some levels. I'm going to wait until we get closer to open. I may add some into this area to fill this gap right here where we don't have much. We just need to see how it's playing out before the market opens. So I'll put something in the live updates channel about that. Say that they decide they want to run this back up at being the beginning of the week, and we get through this trend line. Like I said, they're going to have to get above this pivot, maybe do some consolidating for a push up. You're going to see some resistance once you get above this pivot, you know, all the way up to this R1 pivot. There's going to, well, you should see some resistance, but it just depends on how hard a push. I mean, they could open this thing and just be one big candle all the way up and tag one of these areas up here. And if they do, you got to remember we're still in a bearish downtrend. We never did put in another all-time high, even though we got that good drive. Really looked like we might be getting there, and then we got slammed hard. So, you know, overall, this area right here is going to be about 900 to 930, 940. This whole area in here, you need to be looking for rejection if we get through this trend line, and then so on and so on going up. You know, 975 to 985, 26,035 to 45. And we got this imbalance zone still up here that ain't been filled. I got this green line on my chart. I don't know what this is about. I need to take that off. So we're gonna have a lot up here. We're gonna have to. We could be back in one of them situations we was just in a week or two, or for 3 or 4 weeks, where we kept getting up there, but we couldn't take out them highs to the left, and we kept getting rejection. We could get up in this area around 900, have a good run from where we're at, be 400 or 500 points, and then just a big leg down, something like this over here, and then another bounce up. You know, but. Some fact of the matter is, structure-wise, we're lower highs, lower lows. So until we can do that, you know, and as you can see, we had put this blue line here just a minute ago, talking about this area right here is a rejection point, and if you look back here, that's where I got the bounce here. It could be coming back, testing that area where it got saved and it bounced, but then when we get over here and filled its gap overnight, and then come down, it tested that same area before it dropped again. So this area right here is going to be, should be some resistance in here. So say that line's at 540, so say anything probably from 530 to 550 or so. I'd be watching this area pretty close, see if we get a rejection and how it holds up as far as today. This could be, if we get rejection here, this could be a thing where that's our line in the sand today. We'll see what happens here before the market opens. But if we get above it, just pay attention to these precision entry zones, your pivots, you know, let the trades come to you. Don't be chasing, and everything should be just fine. Stay calm. Don't let your emotions get in front of you. If the ATR is high, it's really volatile. There's always another trade, another day. Wait for the ATR to come down, things to smooth out some. Just stay safe. That's all I have on pre-market prep for NQ this morning. I'll see you guys in Discord, and then we'll be going live in a live trade room tomorrow for our first ever live paid room, and hope to see some of you guys in there. I'll see you guys in the recaps and in Discord. Have a great trading day.